Muslim students demand special prayer room. Head of education has perfect counter-offer. For years, entitled Muslim students have demanded special prayer rooms, taking over school gymnasiums and hallways when their ultimatums aren't met. However, instead of appeasing the privileged zealots, the head of education has come forward with the most brilliant offer to counter their endless demands. Like the rest of Europe, Norway has been duped into believing that welcoming in Muslim migrants and embracing their culture and religion will pave the road to coexistence. What they've discovered is that appeasement only leads Muslims to push for further submission until they fulfill the Quran's command to fight until there is no more disbelief and the religion is for Allah alone. Fortunately, some Norwegians have had enough and are willing to buck political correctness to salvage their country's freedoms. For years, Muslims have rallied together in Norway to insist that the schools provide taxpayer-funded Islamic prayer rooms on public campuses. The Muslim Student Society has inundated schools with religious requirements, including Muslim-only prayer rooms for which they can leave classes to perform compulsory daily prayers. When their stipulations weren't met, they threatened to continue disrupting classes by meeting in the gyms or other locations. Once again denied, they accused the schools of Islamophobia and religious discrimination. Seeing the rise in Islamization, especially in the education system, the Minister of Education and Research Torbjørn Røe Isaksen officially responded to the Muslim students' incessant religious demands by announcing the introduction of a bill that bans the burqa and niqab from educational institutions from preschools to universities. On Monday, students were informed that they will soon be prohibited from wearing Islamic veils or any garb that partially or fully covers the face, according to Deutsche Welle. The law will also apply to Muslims taking part in required introductory courses for refugees and staff members and teachers at educational institutions. Employees who refused to remove the veil would be subjected to immediate termination without question, according to the New York Times. Garments that cover the face prevent communication that is key for pupils and students in their learning, said Education Minister Torbjørn Røe Isaksen. Norway is an open society where everyone should be able to see each other's face. We have every reason to believe this will be approved by Parliament. Incredibly, Acting Minister of Immigration and Integration Per Sandberg supported Isaksen's proposal, adding that the Islamic garb obstructs assimilation and inclusion and allows the wearer to segregate themselves from Western values and culture. Face-covering garments such as the niqab or burqa do not belong in Norwegian schools, he said at a news conference. The ability to communicate is a basic value. The bill comes just months after a landmark ruling in which the European Court of Justice ruling, ACJ, confirmed that European employers are allowed to ban religious symbols like the burqa and hijab in their workplace. The ruling was a result of the Belgian G4S Secure Solutions law firm being accused by a former Muslim employee of religious discrimination after they fired her for wearing the Islamic veil. Banning the face veil is a step toward taking back one's country from Islamization. The burqa and niqab are not only means of segregating oneself from cultural interaction with non-Muslims but a form of religious oppression. Despite so-called moderate Muslims claiming that the hijab or burqa are worn by choice, millions of Muslim and non-Muslims women are forced to wear the head coverings under Sharia law. In fact, they face public flogging, fines, and imprisonment by the government or honor crimes by their own family members. In Islam, the head covering is undeniably compulsory since the Quran states that men are to command their women to cover themselves. If they do not, the Quran teaches that men are to beat those disobedient women because they have been granted this right and authority over women by Allah. In short, wearing the hijab is not merely a religious belief but adherence to Sharia law, a foreign law that is an illegal and incompatible foreign legislation. It is treasonous to follow such laws that oppose our own democracies, yet Muslims have been able to stealthily practice and enforce it under the false claim that it is their religion. Because the Quran blatantly teaches that Muslims must use every effort, violent or political, to overthrow man-made laws and implement Sharia, Islam must be considered an illegal set of laws before it overtakes the West. Please share the story and tell us what you think by clicking one of the buttons below. We want to hear your voice.